The Temple of Solomon was built in the mid-10th century BC, beginning in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel. The purpose of the temple was to house the Ark of the Covenant, which the Lord commanded Moses to construct when the children of Israel were in the wilderness. There Moses placed within it the 10 Commandments, Aaron's rod, and a vessel of manna. Before the temple was built, the ark was kept in a tent-like abode called the tabernacle. Solomon was a wise man. His wisdom, in fact, was granted to him by God. For in a dream, when the king was young, the Lord told Solomon that he would grant him anything he wished. After a little contemplation, Solomon asked the Lord for wisdom. God was so pleased with Solomon's decision that the Lord not only granted the king wisdom, but also great wealth. Solomon would go on to use this wealth to glorify the Lord who granted him such an abundance. The temple was built with stones that were not only quarried off-site, but were also shapen far from the temple's location, so that, as the Bible states, there was neither hammer, nor axe, nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building. 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 7. Speaking on the temple, St. John Chrysostom had this to say, quote, "Nowhere else in the world was such a temple constructed as this, either for costliness or beauty or anything else. For God, who ordained it, commanded that it should be made with great magnificence, for it had bricks of gold in the walls, and anyone who wishes may learn this in the book of Kings, 1 Kings chapter 10:14 to be exact, how many talents of gold were then expended." Solomon covered the interior of the temple with beams and boards of cedar. There was no stone seen. The inner walls were carved with figures of cherubim and palm trees and open flowers, and the whole house was overlaid in gold. The Holy of Holies, where the Ark of the Covenant was placed, measured to be about 33 feet in length, in breadth, and in height, and was overlaid with pure gold. For the construction of the 2 brass pillars that would stand on each side of the porch of the temple, Solomon sent for Hiram out of Tyre, which is in modern-day Lebanon. The Bible states that Hiram was a widow's son of the tribe of Naphtali, a worker in brass and filled with wisdom and understanding. He came to Solomon and wrought all his work. 1 Kings chapter 7, verse 14. So Hiram forged the 2 brass pillars. He named the right pillar Jachin and named the left pillar Boaz. In addition to the brass pillars, Hiram also forged what the Bible calls the molten sea, which was a brass basin for water, but on a grand scale. It was over 15 feet in diameter and over 8 feet in height. It stood upon 12 brass oxen, 3 looking north, 3 looking west, 3 looking south, and 3 looking east. It was over 6 inches thick and had a brim similar to that of a cup. After the temple was completed, the elders came with the priests and took up the ark. The priests came to the temple and placed the ark in the Holy of Holies. When the priests came out of the temple, behold, a cloud filled the house of the Lord. Then Solomon blessed all the congregation of Israel. Solomon made a great prayer unto God, and the king and all of Israel with him offered sacrifice before the Lord. Thus the temple was completed and dedicated, and there the Spirit of the Lord God did dwell. This is the Leap of Faith.